I'm Robin.
And I'm Julie.
We're two mamas who love inspiring healthy living.
After facing family health challenges and seeing how natural solutions transformed our lives, we are determined to help other mamas thrive, not just survive.
What if feeling awesome every day is possible for you and your family?
Come along with us on our natural journey.
Hi, I'm Robin.
I'm Julie.
Welcome to our podcast.
Helping mamas thrive.
Hopefully we won't get censored today. The topic today is called Be Aware of the Toxins in our everyday lives.
Yeah, in our everyday lives. Yeah.
Let's not write this down.
I
When we
know
talk
now.
about it, we are incapable.
Yeah. It's
People
okay.
are texting me. Okay.
All right. So this is a lot to unpack, and I feel like I'm already going to need some calming oils because I get really riled up when we start talking about these like super scary statistics on what we allow for toxins. Oh, thank you.
Giving her some freedom.
Freedom.
We did some brain power before we started.
Oh, that was helpful. This is good. Because I really do want to unpack this in a logical, unemotional manner.
Unemotional.
And not be like, can you believe it? I mean, I think that before I started this wellness journey, I wasn't aware of what was going on around me. No way.
And I learn more new things all the time. Like my newest one was those razors.
Oh,
the razors.
Don't tell me. Oh, yes, you told
The
me about that.
strips.
The strips.
You know, the razors that have the strips that are supposed to be like more gentle on you, that has toxins.
It's so crazy. Okay, so we'll do this in a logical manner.
We are.
Do it by like kind of like body, house, outside. Like, how are we going to break it down?
I don't know. So we have a class that we're teaching. Sorry if you're watching this. November,
we're back.
November 14th.
Yes.
On our Facebook Live. So this is a precursor to that. So we're not going to talk about everything that we're talking about in the class. We're talking about some other things.
Right. We're going to deep dive into things like, fluoride and, things that maybe we don't spend a lot of time talking about in the class because it's a lot to unpack,
So I don't know what method you want to do. Like, I want to just start talking about fluoride.
Okay. You want to jump right in? We're just going to rip the Band-Aid off? Like, totally. Why can we start with some scary statistics?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Because a lot of these things totally blow my mind. Really. Do you want to share one?
You want me to do my sunscreen one? Because this is
well, if you're talking about fluoride, maybe we'll share the scary statistics on each thing that we kind of do.
Yeah.
So fluoride, did you know fluoride for every 0.2 ppb, which is points per billion, the IQ decreases by 1 point. Okay.
So how much of fluoride is in Colgate?
Parts, did I say points per billion? Parts per billion. So fluoride, what was your question?
How much is in Colgate?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I want to know that.
Okay, now I want to know that. So fluoride is one of those things that has a long history, but the whole reason that it started was it was used in concentration camps to help the people in the concentration camp be more like subdued, and
that's how it started. I know it was used then, but that's the first time it was used.
That was the first time it was used on a mass scale. And once that was done, they were like, well, what are we going to put it in? We have all this.
Really?
Yes, we have all of this, a great resource. We need to like put it into stuff. And so that's when it started getting put into
our water,
toothpaste. There are so many things.
So fluoride is a neurotoxin. Okay. So it's a misnomer that we need fluoride for our teeth to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the American Dentistry Association says we need to have it, we do not.
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Correct.
I use toothpaste that does not have fluoride in it.
Mhm.
I've been fluoride free for a very long time. And you know that swish that the kids get.
That totally kills me. Like when I found out that in the public schools they would do the swish thing.
Oh, they used to do that.
Yeah. And give them a little cup, and a lot of parents opted out to like get that. But I mean, how amazing that they would actually do that. So did you know that fluoride is the most highly reactive, non-radioactive element in the periodic table?
No.
Like, what?
I just know that it's in all these toothpaste and all of our kids use them. And I
Yeah.
hate it. And so if you go to a traditional dentist, you can say no fluoride. And hopefully they'll listen to you.
Yep. And even the CDC has said that fluorosis is more prone to decay. So 4 out of 10 in 2006 had fluorosis, and now almost 60%.
What is fluorosis?
Well, the sodium fluoride that's found in toothpaste, like now it's like it just doesn't make sense. Even the science isn't even there. And
No.
even Harvard University studied a whole bunch, I think like 20 to 30 studies, and came to the conclusion that it lowers IQ in children, and that it does not help with strengthening the teeth. That is a misnomer. That is not actually what happens, and we can geek out on the science of why that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But that is not proven. So
fluoride toxicity is a cause of dental fluorosis, which is on the rise. And fluoride toxicity is a serious threat to human health. Wow. The first sign of toxicity, yeah. Wow.
isn't that crazy?
It is crazy, and it's just very controversial. And when I tell people not to do it, they look at me like I have two heads.
Mm-hmm. That's so crazy.
Wow. Symptoms of fluoride overdose include abdominal pain, abnormal taste in the mouth, diarrhea, drooling, eye irritation, headaches.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's linked to hypothyroidism, endocrine disruptor, linked to obesity. There's so many things that is crazy. It's so sad.
Yeah.
So we just need to make sure that people are aware of it. You can make a change. Like I use, like you said, fluoride free toothpaste, and also toothpaste without triclosan, which we'll talk about in a little bit, and some other crazy things that are in toothpaste. So read the ingredients even on your toothpaste. We'll get to personal care products, but Young Living, if you want to move to products that are not, you need to contact Robin or myself, because you need to have options that are healthy for your body that still get the work done. Okay. Are we moving on? What else do you want to?
I just want to see. I know, because I just think people think, what the heck are we talking about fluoride? And this is like beyond people's thoughts. Like, what do you mean fluoride was used to lower intelligence?
It's so crazy.
It's the same category as toxic as lead, mercury, but it's legal.
Yep.
That's interesting.
It's so sad. And we know these things about when we have these different kind of toxicity in our body, that it is like a gateway, a path for bacteria and virus to take root and like get in. It just opens up those pathways. So that's
but if you already are compromised, if you have a neurological disorder, and then fluoride is even worse because it's a neurotoxin.
Yep.
So it's disgusting that it's okay. Please don't let your people use fluoride toothpaste.
Yes. Please. Okay. Let's.
You know what Jonathan did this week?
Yeah. What?
So my son got he went to the dentist, and they gave him like a little bag, and he gave the assistant back the box. He said, "I don't do chemicals," and he took out the box of the Crest, and he gave it to her, and he said, "I don't do chemicals," and she's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my gosh. See, that's so amazing. I love that. That's a great story.
Is very good. I love that he did that. And he was very sweet about it and not rude. You know, that was your mom. I knew it because I said to Julie, did you text your mom that we're going to be recording? And she said, I'll just put it on silent.
It's hilarious. Those quantum physics, it works. Okay.
So
Are we
again,
moving on? Are we done with
yeah,
that? Our
you know,
rants on that?
yeah, but you know what? We didn't really do an intro about like we said be aware of chemicals, like the title. The re the reason that we're doing this episode and the reason we have the class is that these toxins in our life affect our health. Okay, so let's just like rewind for a second.
Okay.
So we're so excited. Like
Just jumped right in.
so you know, these toxins affect our health in a lot of ways, and many times it's not attributed to that. Like heavy metals. I mean, can we talk about aluminum today? Like, because like
yeah.
that's not in our class.
Oh yeah.
But I just
can
can go off
unpack
on
that.
go off on aluminum.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, they're not necessarily linked in traditional or like the today's dialogue, but there is science showing that these are aversive to our health. And in muscle testing, we can see that. You know, mold and fungus and chemicals come up and they're giving us pain and all these making our organs out of balance. So that's kind of like the why for this. Like, be aware because we didn't know before. Now we know. And we want to just give some tips on things to look for in your life. So some of the things we talk about today, we probably won't talk about in our class.
Yes.
Because fluoride is actually not in our class.
Right.
So I'm glad we talked about fluoride.
Yep.
What's next you want to talk about? Oh, yes. Let's talk about sweetener.
Nothing gets us more riled up than all these like crazy things that they're putting in our foods. And we expect our kids to like behave really, you know, they're supposed to behave well, but we're giving them all the junk. And things like aspartame and high fructose corn syrup and MSG
and
dye and
look at all these dyes listed here.
Oh, right. Yeah. We have like all the blue, red, yellow.
Red is worst.
It's so crazy.
Remember in kindergarten, Cobb, that one little girl, she goes, I'm allergic to red dye number, whatever that was. She was like ahead of her time. She's my kind of kid.
Yes. And there are so many things that are even in our plastics. I mean, if we even just spent an hour on plastics, we could
I know, but we're not going to
I
plastics.
know.
We're talking about sweetener right now.
Okay. But it's the stuff that is put in, you know, plastics that the BHA, and
Forever chemicals.
the forever
I know, but that needs we need
Okay.
to talk about that.
All right.
No,
So let's just do sweeteners.
Let's talk about sweetener. So if you're eating like a fake sugar, like aspartame and what are even the other ones called now? NutraSweet.
I don't
Saccharin.
know. Are the color packets?
Yeah, those color packets. Yeah. Those are toxic. They're carcinogenic. Please don't use them.
Yeah.
If you need to have some sweetener, use honey. And not honey at the restaurant that comes in that little packet that looks like the Chick-fil-A sauces. That has corn syrup. Read the ingredients. It's not honey.
Right. We need raw honey.
Honey, agave is probably better, or like maple syrup if you're cooking, or like even table sugar is better than aspartame.
Yeah.
And table sugar is toxic too.
Yes.
But it's better than it's probably I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. I think it's better than aspartame. That's
No,
like
but
the worst.
aspartame is it again another neurotoxin and a carcinogen.
Yeah.
And it's known to erode intelligence and affect short-term memory.
Yep.
So
there's a lot of studies on aspartame in mice and also it making you crave food because a lot of people drink Diet Coke.
Right.
And then they crave food because it makes you have more weight.
Yeah. It's an excitotoxin that goes up there and
it's terrible. So also stevia is another option that's healthy. You need to look at you need to look because some of them are processed incorrectly.
Yes.
So you can read the box.
Yeah, there's like a brand name that says stevia or something that's not really
Yeah, you have to look at
I
it.
don't
You
know.
have to look at it. But, and some people say they have sensitivities to stevia, but I have a feeling it's the way that things are
Yes.
processed and not the,
Yeah.
like the true stevia.
Yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know. I don't know that for sure. But if you're drinking diet soda, you're drinking one of those things, the
Yes.
carcinogenic cocktail, let's call it.
Yes. Please stop. Please stop that.
doing that.
Yes.
I've been Diet Coke free for I don't know, maybe 10 years.
Or more, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That I used to have a lot
I
of Diet
can't
Coke.
imagine drinking a soda like that. That seems
No,
so
it's so
foreign to me.
gross.
I don't know. I
I
can't.
used to love Coca-Cola. That doesn't have aspartame, but it's plenty poison. Hey, so well when we're pregnant, did you
Mhm.
like curtail drinking aspartame and stuff?
I didn't I wasn't aware of any ingredients. I never did any label reading until Robin said, "Look on the back of your peanut butter." So, and that was what, how many years ago? 15 years ago or something? I don't know.
Yeah, let's see.
It
Don't
never
you-
dawned on me to
15?
read anything. So,
Not when you're pregnant. So like
yeah.
I think when I was pregnant, I think I only my doctor told me I could have one Diet Coke a day. So I did that. I had one Diet Coke a day. I stopped drinking. There was this really delicious water that I drank from Walmart. A lot of it. I drank a lot of it. It was lime and clear and delicious.
Oh my
And it had
goodness.
aspartame in it. I did stop drinking that. So what happens to our brain? Okay. I was thinking about this. Okay, when you're pregnant,
Yes.
don't eat this and don't drink this. But as soon as you're not pregnant, go ahead and go put it back in your body. Like
That's true.
I just, now that I'm 52, I understand why. No, anything that you cut out of your body to not eat when you're pregnant,
I know.
probably should not eat it ever.
Or like the with fluoride when they're like trying to put it in the system and they are has hazmat suits on and all this like stuff to handle all these chemicals that are put in, and we're just like, I don't know, do we think it's diluted enough so we don't really care? But you if there is something that's dangerous that is going in, we should be like, just no. Like there shouldn't be any justification, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Well,
Yes.
I'm not carrying a human being. I'm not drinking 50 bottles of this, like it's all in moderation, as we say,
I
which is
hate
a
that
bunch
term.
of baloney.
I really despise that
Yeah.
phrase, all in moderation, because
Yeah.
it's a misnomer.
Yep.
People, that's the word of the day, apparently. But,
Mhm.
people say that all the time about food, like all in moderation, but it's an aggregate effect in your body for your toxic load.
Mhm.
And so, okay, if you eat clean all year and you eat one thing that's bad, all right, maybe I can go for that. But all in moderation, once a week, you're gonna have what was that making me irate? Those Lunchables.
Oh, yeah. She pulled up all the ingredients on a Lunchable. I'm shocked that they can even fit that on because Lunchable's small. Like how do they fit all of those
It's probably you can't read it.
150 words like on that
There's
small?
no real food in that.
There's no. Yeah.
There's no nutrition in that.
Yeah.
I can't. Well, we should talk about food in a minute. So let's.
Okay.
So are we done with the sweeteners?
Yes. We need to
It
move on.
can,
Okay.
but we sort of touched on dye. I do want to talk about dye.
Okay.
And if you are letting your children or you drink sports drinks, the green, yellow, blue, orange, red ones, those have dyes.
Yep.
And sugar. And they are terrible for you. If you're looking for electrolyte replenishment, there's so many other ways to do that naturally. You can do sea salt tablets. You can do natural electrolytes. I know you like the Young Living drops, but there's other right? You love those. There's other ones too. But even sea salt drops, like they're or you could get muscle tested with us and we could tell you which like what your body wanted. Because you want to make sure your electrolyte absorption is good.
So the artificial colorings may contribute to behavioral problems like ADD and ADHD in children and lead to significant reduction in IQ once again. And animal studies have even found that other food colorings can lead to cancer. So
yeah, this one is a hot topic for me with the ADHD, ADD, autism group,
Mhm.
and sugar too.
Yep.
We cannot expect our children to behave
Mhm.
or to think or to
Mhm.
focus
Mhm.
when they have these things. So
Mhm.
you're feeding them half a cookie cake, candy galore, lollipops, oh
Mhm.
this, oh that, then don't expect them to be able to think and have
Mhm.
good behavior. And plus,
Right.
if they don't eat any nutrients to even offset it, which
Mhm.
is in the case most of the time the case.
Right.
So they're only eating crap. They can't think.
Right. So can we move? Okay, so I have two things, and you can decide what you want to do next. Phthalates, or um, we can do like pharmaceuticals.
Well, we do talk about phthalates a lot in the class
Oh yeah,
because
that's
that's
true.
like the number one problem in
Mhm.
most
Mhm.
of the in most products in our home.
Mhm.
Phthalates is like number one.
Mhm.
It's the worst. And phthalates is the word that you cannot um spell. It's PHTHALATES. It
Mhm.
sounds like a nonsense word.
Mhm.
It should
Mhm.
be.
It should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about it briefly? I don't want to spend too much time on it because they need to come to our class.
Okay, that's true. Okay. We don't have to go into it. It's just something that is in tons of stuff. It is commonly added to cosmetics and personal care products.
Everything.
It's estrogenic, so a lot of times when we're dealing with hormonal issues, it's going to be a huge problem.
Well, it's known to cause cancer, fetal
Right.
development hazards, endocrine disruptor, what you just said, testicular
Mhm.
toxicity, respiratory distress,
Mhm.
cancer causing, system and organ toxicity, nervous system toxicity. It's in
Mhm.
everything. It's in
Mhm.
like 50 things.
Perfumes, nail polishes, lotions, hairsprays,
Dryer sheets,
all stuff.
makeup. I mean, you name it. There's a
This
film.
is why this is a good. Okay, so we are going to launch a us. I know, right? I'm gonna just say it. Do you know?
Are you Robin today?
So a lot of people get
I know what you're saying.
overwhelmed with all of these things that they know are in their house, but like, where do I even start? And I don't want to throw anything out. I don't want to do anything rash. I don't know. Is this really this bad? So Robin and I are going to offer to be what? What do you call that? Home toxin toxin audit, to do a home toxin audit, and help you out. So look for that. Look for things to come out about that, because I was there. I was like, well, should I really throw this out? Like, how bad is it? Like,
I love when
can I use it up?
I love
No.
when Dr. Popper said that. Like you identify you don't want to use it,
Right.
but then you have to use the rest of it to not waste it.
Don't want to waste it.
You don't want to waste your money on that poison.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on to pharmaceuticals then.
How fun.
That's not in the class.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, talk about added toxicity to our body. So a lot of times when we have these pharmaceuticals, it's really difficult for our body to purge all of the
There's a gnat.
oh, I know. To purge all the extra things that are in there. And so they get stuck in our body. They cause so many side effects. It's ridiculous. But an interesting fact is that if Tylenol we had to go through the rigor of getting regulated today, it would
Oh, yeah.
not pass.
It was grandfathered.
The test.
Most people don't know this. Most people don't know that there was, and Tylenol is not the only medication.
Right.
There's tons of chemicals that were grandfathered in. I saw a stat, I didn't print it out. Like, let's just say thousands, I think it was like 1,300, but don't quote me on the number.
Mhm.
Over 1,000 chemicals are illegal
I
in
thought it
our
was 10,000.
just for makeup. This one was just
Oh,
for
just
makeup.
Okay.
And there was only like 13 in the US
Insane.
that were
What we
illegal.
have done. What do you have that stat on the consumption of the United States as far as pharmaceuticals? We consume,
No, it's on my computer, which we're recording.
I think it was like, wasn't it 75% of the
Oh, 95%.
95? That was a little low. 95% of
pharmaceuticals, but that was a stat before COVID. So,
oh, okay.
it's-
Oh, maybe you think it's up.
mhm.
Could be even more. That's really sad. That we are a pharmaceutical loving.
Well, we're only one of two countries that allow direct to consumer advertising
Yeah.
on pharmaceuticals.
Right. The other one being
It's somewhere on the other side of the world, but I can't remember.
yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, those great commercials about your A1C.
New Zealand. New Zealand's the
Yeah.
other one. That is
Why?
scary.
I do not like the commercials of people singing, talking about how great their medication is for their A1C. I'm sorry, it really upsets me.
Robin wants to do a commercial for a wellness like
I
thing,
do.
and
We're gonna do it.
it's going to be awesome.
How
It's going to
great
be,
it
yeah.
is.
But
It's
you
so
have to
funny.
laugh every time those commercials come on. It's like, are you serious?
No, it doesn't make me laugh. It makes me cry because people just want the easy button. And we're here to say, please don't pick the easy button.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
it doesn't have a long, it's not sustainable. Okay. So you look
Right.
thin. Let's say people kind of in America, people measure health by like looking thin. Okay. Looking thin is nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
not having fat on you is definitely one good thing for your health, but it's definitely not indicative of your health.
Right.
Right. So just because somebody looks good and then they have like a surprise heart attack, people are like, why? He's so healthy. No, he ate fast food. Just because he has no body fat doesn't mean he's healthy. We have to redefine how we define health.
Right.
Okay, so
Amen.
so pharmaceuticals are also found in our water.
Right.
And you can go to your local, this is cool, and I don't remember the exact website, but you can Google this. You can go find, you can look up your county and see all the things that are found in your water. Because you know, people in Florida always complain about the water compared to like
Oh
New
yeah,
York.
right, right.
They're like, oh, the bagels in New York is so
Yeah.
much better because of the water.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at the chemicals in the New York water, there's way more chemicals than in my county here.
Isn't that crazy?
That's super crazy.
Super crazy.
So just a consideration.
Yeah, we should be aware. We could spend another whole thing on water. That would
We
be.
should have a separate
So-
topic on water.
I know. We haven't had a podcast on water? We should.
No.
I know we've talked about a lot in classes, but water is really super important since we drink
Yeah.
most of what we consume. Can we talk about our major detoxifying organ in here really quickly?
Yeah, we're not done with pharmaceuticals. So go
Oh,
for it.
okay. I
That's
just want to interject the hope. Okay. So our liver, these are some cool things.
I thought this was related to it.
It is, but it's about detoxifying. I just want to give some hope in here because we're going off the rails on like bashing all the like don't do anything. We have to live still. But
Did you know?
Yeah.
I'm interrupting you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lawsuit with Tylenol and people who took it while pregnant and have kids with autism.
Oh yeah. Yep. Absolutely. It's so sad. If you guys, there's lots of information out there about Tylenol, and if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you will be astounded. I was like, there were things that I didn't even know, and people just pop them like,
Oh, yeah. Let's just say like the one, like the most eminent thing for me about that is when you have fever and you take it, it suppresses your glutathione, and glutathione is what you need to detoxify your body. So it actually makes you have your illness longer.
Yeah. And we need to be able to have our body do what it is meant to do in order to eradicate the virus. Like we have a system in place. Our bodies are made to heal. Okay.
Yes. Well, fever, we always say like fevers are such a blessing. Remember how you talk about your chart that you used to have?
Yes. I have for my, well, Matthew never got Tylenol on that. So 4 kids, I had to keep them straight. So I had this chart, a dry erase chart, and I would, you know how you can only give Tylenol and ibuprofen, and
You would
mix them up?
rotate.
And I didn't want to like get the wrong kid with the wrong amount and overdose them. And so I had a chart and I put a little X through. Okay, so and so had that. Like I legit thought that was helping the illness. Like that was in my frame of mind. And I can't believe I thought that for so long.
I know. And you know how many times when you get the V and they tell you,
yeah,
when you get the V to the kids, you give them Tylenol. So
oh, yeah. Right. Oh, so
that doesn't even make any sense.
Right.
Like I did all these things they told me, but now I understand. How does that make sense? You have an immune response to what's going in, but let's suppress it.
Yeah, right. I know. Oh, it's so backwards. Okay, so our liver, so our bodies are designed to heal. So there's some cool things that you can learn about your liver. Okay. It is our main organ for
So
detoxification.
if somebody's wondering why she's bringing this up, so the link is when you have a pharmaceutical or any toxin, your liver is processing it. So she said it's like the major detoxification organ. So that's the link.
Yes.
That's where she got the liver.
Yes.
Okay.
We need to know that we have it and we can't abuse it because there are some crazy things that are going to happen. But it's good at breaking down excessive hormones. It transfers fat soluble toxins into water soluble toxins. And if we think about how often we change the filter in our car, we never have to change our liver filter. But
When we are working on stuff, our liver gets full. Well, I'm using full as a term, but then it gives us allergy. Like then we have like, oh, I can't eat nightshades anymore, like me. Like, oh, I'm going to reject these things because I'm still working on detoxifying your body.
And people get really agitated, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's taking so long that I can't eat a XYZ or whatever. It's like you've been for 40 years, you've been dumping in like whatever. Like we have to give our livers some grace because they are working overtime. They're responsible for over 300 processes in our body. And I read somewhere they have two blood supplies, one that comes from the heart, one in lungs, one from the stomach and intestines. And there was something else in here about how much it weighs.
The liver is super important. So, we talked about fatty liver in one of our something this week.
Didn't
we?
We did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can heal that.
Yes. The liver can regenerate itself and it is 1/5 of our body weight. Holy mackerel. Okay. So there's hope.
On the box for the medication, and Julian, my dad are both pharmacists, so I always followed the rules on the box. But it's because it's to save your liver.
Yeah.
Sometimes your kidneys. Because it can't withstand too many Excedrin migraines in one day.
Right. Exactly.
I always suffered and I never mixed medications.
Yeah.
I always did what it said.
Yes. Okay. So I had to interject that. All right. So we got that going on for us.
That didn't make me feel sunshiny. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it did somebody.
Okay. I hope so.
So take care of your liver.
Yes. Please.
And be patient with yourself if you're on a detox program.
Yes. It takes time. Like you always say, we heal in layers. And I think that's why it's so important for people to get muscle tested and be on a program because we can journey with them.
Yes.
And we are healing in layers.
So. And we can ask your body what it's sensitive to.
I know.
Like who knew I would not be able to eat nightshades or nuts?
Right.
It's so sad. It's been over a year.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
If you know me, I used to eat tomatoes and peppers at every meal. But potatoes too. I can't eat potatoes.
I love if you're not watching this, every time Rob has something very important to say, she leans in.
But I think I looked at the wrong plates. I don't think I understand cameras.
You cracked me up. Okay.
Yeah.
What, are we done? Oh no,
we're done with pharmaceuticals. We're
Okay.
done with pharmaceuticals. Let me just say the sunscreen one.
Oh yeah. This is so good. We went into a whole entire presentation by Dr. Ben Rawl about sunscreen because it was so eye-opening. It was crazy.
It was so good. And I was trying to get the stats because the stats were amazing because the stats showed that the countries that were closest to the equator had the lowest skin cancer rates. And it was because of access to sunscreen. It was unbelievable stats.
Can you believe
I couldn't get that from him.
I know, seriously. He's like the stat man. I love he's
good
awesome.
at the stats.
Yeah.
So, but I did get this stat.
Okay.
So worldwide, the greatest rise in melanoma has been experienced in countries where chemical sunscreens have been promoted. The rise in melanoma has been exceptionally high in Australia, where the medical establishment has vigorously promoted sunscreen.
Dang.
So
it's very
and
telling.
then we saw a graph of the countries. Oh, I thought I didn't print this out. So sunscreen disables your body from absorbing vitamin D.
Yeah.
And vitamin D is a hormone that we need to be healthy.
Yes.
And so if you're wearing sunscreen, You
Mhm.
can't absorb vitamin D. It was like
Mhm.
95% or
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
It was a crazy
It's
amount.
crazy. I think the things that we attribute to skin cancer are not really as they seem. So, toxins have a huge play in that. So, just FYI,
And
keep that
all
in
and
mind.
viruses and parasites,
Oh,
all
yeah.
kinds of stuff.
All
All kinds
kinds.
of imbalances.
Right.
But you're not saying like don't,
No,
if you're
right.
gonna be at the
Find a good,
beach, if you're gonna be at the
decent.
beach for 8 hours, you probably should wear sunscreen, but wear your mineral one, um,
Right.
with non-nano, right?
Yep. No nano, because we don't know what nanos do yet. I mean, they may, we just don't know. There's not enough studies to show how these small, super small particles and what they're doing at the atomic level. So,
I like the Young Living one,
oh, it's so good.
but
I
it's
love
very
it.
thick and a lot of kids don't.
I know.
But you can
It's hard.
actually spray it. There's a concoction you can make
Right.
and put it like in a hydrosol kind of thing.
That's true.
But here's a little tip. If the sunscreen says safe for the reef,
Mhm. Yeah.
then it's a little better at
Yep.
least.
There we go.
If it's reef safe, again, why
Mhm.
wouldn't we all want it to be reef safe?
Mhm.
Like the
Mhm.
pregnancy thing.
Right.
Only people in Hawaii don't want to kill the reef. That doesn't make any sense to me. So you're gonna put the copper tone baby on in Florida because we don't have a reef. But then when
Right.
you go to Hawaii, you're gonna put on Alba because they have a reef. That doesn't make sense.
Can we talk about glyphosate?
Are you done with sunscreen? Gee
I
whiz.
am.
Okay.
Sorry, we still have so much to go, and it's like it's getting long. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Glyphosate. When did we start this? I don't even know the time when we started.
You don't know either.
I don't even know the time when it's been recording.
It's 3:55.
I know.
To leave in 5 minutes. Okay.
I know that we're late, but
Okay,
we
we gotta
gotta start
speed.
on time.
We gotta speed. Okay. So glyphosate, if you do not know the word glyphosate, you need to be very familiar about it because there's a
Glyphosate. Glyphosate.
okay. Next week we are going to have the second round of spelling bee. Okay, so basically there's a long history of glyphosate. There's so much intel on glyphosate now. Right. See, can you use it in a sentence, please? Glyphosate will kill you. There is a sentence.
Roundup.
It is a noun.
Roundup, which is used on all of our crops.
Yep.
And the most disgusting component of this is that it's illegal in Europe to be sprayed and not in the US. And so this is why some of the you folks who are gluten-free and you can't eat gluten here in the States, you can go to Italy and have pasta and be fine. It's actually not the gluten. It's because the wheat is sprayed with glyphosate.
Amen. Amen, sister. You said it in a nutshell. That is totally true. So they actually are working to take Roundup off of the like Home Depot shelves. Like, they're working on it.
Like, okay, again, when the court agreed that it was
Right.
carcinogenic, it was like, you have 4 or 5 years to take it off the shelf. What the heck?
Oh, but you can still use it in commercial application. Absolutely. Right. You can still sell your Roundup Ready seeds. You can still do all that stuff. But for the general consumer, we know that it's killing people.
Okay, so
it's been proven in court.
I think that one thing people don't understand about glyphosate is it can affect your joints. I mean, I know a couple of 50-year-olds who are healthy in most ways. Well, let's just say they work out and they had to have hip replacements. And that makes me wonder. I'd love to muscle test them, but we wouldn't muscle test without permission. Is it the glyphosate? Because that destroys the joints.
Yep.
Do you have other details that it does?
Oh my gosh. It's so shocking. It's horrible. And I don't think I even want to spend time on this because it is right now they're never going to be getting all the glyphosate out. It is now it's affecting the water systems. It's one of those forever chemicals that's going to be in there.
Yeah. So what can you do? So one of the things you can do is buy organic food.
Mhm.
It's not 100% chemical free, but it's going to be better than traditional. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't afford the organic food. But isn't it worth it to not have these other issues that are hard to correlate, right? Julie and I do teach a class called Living Naturally on a Budget. So maybe we'll put that into swing at some point. And I think we have a podcast on that.
Mhm.
So you can pick the Dirty Dozen at least to go
Yes. Yep.
right organic. And
We do, and we have it on our website too. Well,
we do.
okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But,
By the
yeah.
time that this publishes, Julie will get it on there.
Yeah. We'll have you find it. There'll be a link somewhere.
Okay, so
Okay.
glyphosate
All right,
is
so
a
let's move on.
huge
Okay.
is a huge problem. We do have to start wrapping it up. So
Okay.
what are the other toxins we want to talk about? Because in the class,
Okay.
we'll talk
Wait,
about
aluminum. I just briefly
oh
want
yes,
to talk
let's talk
about
about aluminum.
aluminum and also formaldehyde.
Yes,
Okay.
perfect.
So go ahead with aluminum.
I have to try not to get censored on
Okay.
aluminum.
This whole thing is probably gonna get censored. I don't know.
Aluminum is super toxic, and I don't have that stat. That's a mercury stat. I'll have it for our class.
Okay.
What the EPA allows and what's in certain you know what's.
Okay.
Okay. So aluminum is in, those things we get when we're kids, the series of them. There's aluminum in them, and you can actually look. There's a thing called a black box. You can look at that to see the ingredients.
Mhm.
You can look at you can go to the CDC website. They actually have them listed.
Oh yeah.
You can see
Mhm.
that what's in it, aluminum. But what aluminum is in deodorant, the tinfoil, those
Tinfoil.
tinfoil and those tinfoil disposable pans that people cook in all the time. All those delicious like Reynolds wrap packets that you can make with the chicken and the peppers
Yeah.
and you put it in the steam thing. Terrible for you. I just think about like all the secret deodorant I wore.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All the deodorant. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
But anyway, aluminum is a neurotoxin too.
Yep.
And it is it's found in the brain of people who have Alzheimer's and maybe other degenerative things like Parkinson's, maybe. What did you want to say about aluminum?
No, that's just one of the reasons why I didn't have Hannah get certain things, is I wanted to make sure that there wasn't any excess aluminum going into her brain. It's hard. Heavy metal toxicity that's a tough thing, and it can really negatively affect our kids. So just be aware and read ingredients, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if you have a kid on the spectrum, they're gonna, or even the ADHD, any kind of specialty, for lack of a better term, any neurological thing, those things are gonna affect them more, right? And so you want to get them out of the brain. They're really terrible.
Yep. And like you said with the food, I mean, we're just absorbing that stuff into our food and then we consume it. So that's why it's such a problem. All right. Anything else about aluminum, or can we move on to
we need to move on.
formaldehyde?
We need to move on.
Formaldehyde, really quickly, it's just it's used as a preservative, and it's also in so many products that are in household products and things that you would buy. So just be
Lots of removers.
Yeah, just be aware that
Known to cause migraines, respiratory distress,
nerve damage,
lung damage, cancer, systemic organ damage, skin irritations, nervous system toxicity.
cancer.
Formaldehyde is not good.
No.
Isn't that what they preserve? Like when you do the dissections in middle school, high school? That's disgusting. Okay.
Did you want to tell the story about how this is back to moderation really quickly, about how, if we told our kids, we're just going to put a little tiny bit of poop in your food, just a little tiny bit, just a little bit, little tiny bit, they would be like, heck no, like, no, that's disgusting. Like, don't, And I feel like we need to get to that place with all these toxins that are in there for people to
Yes.
realize, no, even a little bit, no, I'm not doing
Yes.
it. I'm not buying it because the way you vote for food is if you buy it. So if we keep buying this stuff that's laden with all these toxic things, and we're voting for that and saying, yes, please keep making that. Like the stupid
Yeah.
Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, you can follow Food Babe. She's the one who started that whole thing with Kraft. But you know, people feed their kids Cheerios and they think it's, you know.
Yeah, talk about
Okay.
glyphosate.
I know. All right. So just as a little teaser, in our class on the 14th, we're going to talk about fragrance. That's another
Ooh, that's huge.
parabens. Petroleum.
Oh,
Please don't
yes.
use. I might get censored this time again.
I know, right?
Ammonia,
Mhm.
triclosan. We'll talk about other ones.
Propylene glycol. We'll talk about that.
That's in a lot of things.
That's in a lot of things.
All right. So hopefully this was not depressing. We just want you to be aware that we're surrounded.
Yes.
The reason why our toxic load is so high is we are surrounded with these chemicals, and there are so many things we can do. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. We love to say, you know, you pick one thing and change it.
Yes.
So whether it's your soap or your deodorant or a lotion or, you know,
or reach out to us and we'll do a plan for you.
Yeah.
We also do have a Reboot Your Life course that is available. And if you go to athelivingtree.com, I'll put a link in the show notes.
That's an online course.
It's an online course, and we do deal with toxins in there a little bit, but it is all about kicking some things to the curb that are not serving you well.
Okay, but November 14th is the free class.
Yes.
On our Facebook. You're always welcome to call us for a muscle test. And we'll have a special when this is published.
Can we also just mention that we do foot detoxes that does take the toxins and metals, chemicals, and everything out of your body. So just mentioning that foot detoxes, iodine foot detoxes are awesome for that. Okay.
Yes. Should I say the special? We'll be live, right, by this time?
Yeah.
So our special for Small Business Saturday is buy a muscle test consult or emotion code, get a free foot detox.
That's huge.
I know. Or buy a 5-pack of, well, it's a 5-pack for the price of 4 for foot detox. So get one free detox. Yeah, I know. And then also 10% off a membership for
that is huge.
The muscle test.
Yeah. That could be an upwards of savings of like
over $117. Yeah. 120 rounded.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go to my spelling bee. Anything else?
Robin would kick my butt in a spelling bee.
Do you think so?
Oh, 100%. Considering that at Boggle, I lose every single time by like double digits. So
that's only 3 or 4 letter words.
It's fine.
All right.
All okay.
Please like and share this. And we wish you good health and no toxins.
Yes. Help those mamas, especially if you know pregnant mamas or mamas that are going to be pregnant. We have found in the umbilical cord the most, like over 300
personally.
Right. Over 300 chemicals in the umbilical cord. Like we cannot do this to our kids. Like it's so sad. So please share.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe. And if you want to support our show, give us a 5-star rating.
To learn more about our practice, visit athelivingtree.com.